Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we're plunging into a political earthquake that's shaking the foundations of East Asia. South Korea, a nation long seen as a beacon of stability and economic prowess, is now teetering on the brink after a series of shocking, almost unbelievable events. We're talking about the impeachment of its president, a controversial attempt to invoke martial law, and the chilling shadow of a nuclear-armed North Korea lurking just across the border. This isn't just a political drama, it's a high-stakes crisis with the potential to reshape the entire region. The news coming out of Seoul is nothing short of explosive. President Yoon Suk Yeol, a figure once seen as a strong and decisive leader, has been impeached and suspended from his duties, leaving the nation in a state of chaos and disbelief. This didn't happen in a vacuum. It followed a surprise declaration of martial law, a move that has been described by some as a desperate power grab and by others as a reckless act of desperation. The impeachment isn't just a procedural move, it's a reflection of deep-seated political divisions that have now boiled over into a full-blown crisis. The accusations against Yoon are staggering. He stands accused of abuse of authority, insurrection, and obstructing the basic rights of the South Korean people. These are not minor offenses. They strike at the heart of democratic principles. And what's even more shocking is that President Yoon has refused to cooperate with investigators, spurning a summons for questioning, further fueling the flames of public outrage. Now, we have acting President Han Duck-soo, a career technocrat who's been thrust into the spotlight. He's been scrambling to reassure the country's allies, burning up the phone lines with global leaders, including President Biden, promising that South Korea's foreign policy and alliances will remain intact. But the question is, can a caretaker leader truly stabilize a nation that's been rocked by such political and social upheaval? The situation is about so much more than just internal politics. It's about the existential threat posed by North Korea. The timing of this crisis, with its political instability and a question mark over who's really in charge, has raised alarm bells with South Korea's allies, particularly in Washington and Tokyo. They fear that Kim Jong-un may view this moment of weakness as an opportunity to test South Korea's resolve, maybe through a new missile launch, a cyber attack, or even something more provocative. The stakes are incredibly high, and the threat is very, very real. Adding another layer of complexity to the story is the political maneuvering within the South Korean government itself. The opposition party, who were the architects of the impeachment, have now made a seemingly contradictory announcement, saying they won't move to impeach acting President Han. This looks like a strategic move, a way to try to bring some semblance of stability to a country that's hurtling towards complete disarray. The Constitutional Court now has 6 months to decide whether to remove Yoon permanently or reinstate him. And if he is removed, new elections must be held within 60 days, creating an extended period of instability and uncertainty. The social fabric of South Korea is also showing signs of strain. You have mass protests in the streets, with thousands of South Koreans demanding Yoon's removal and accountability. But you also have a smaller but vocal group of supporters who are trying to defend him. These protests reveal deep divisions within the country, highlighting not only political disagreements, but ideological and cultural rifts that are now being laid bare. South Korea's economy, traditionally a powerhouse of Asia, is also being affected. The political uncertainty has sent shockwaves through the markets, prompting frantic meetings and efforts by financial authorities to prevent a full-blown economic crisis. The opposition leader has called for a National Stability Council and a supplemental budget, but the intense political divisions and mistrust make it difficult for any kind of collaborative or effective action. The country has a government paralyzed by infighting while facing immediate needs. And what about the origins of this crisis? The attempt to impose martial law itself was a drastic, unexpected move that has shattered trust in the government. The reasons behind Yoon's decision remain unclear, raising questions about his intentions and his capability as a leader. Was this a genuine attempt to protect the country, or was this a desperate grab for power? The question hangs over the crisis like a shadow. South Korea is not just experiencing a political problem, it's facing a systemic breakdown. This is a nation at a crossroads, grappling with a complex combination of political scandal, a volatile neighbor, and economic instability. The situation is very fluid and it is rapidly evolving, and its outcomes remain very uncertain. South Korea's future hangs in the balance. We'll be keeping a very close watch on these developing events, tracking the key players, and keeping you up to date as the situation continues to unfold. Thank you for joining us today for this deep dive into the crisis in South Korea. What are your thoughts on these dramatic developments? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates as we continue to closely track this story.